Hello there. So I want to make a video on Tesla's Cybertruck. I think it's a good purchase. The stocks went down because let's see. I think it went down 6%, just because people think Cybertruck looks ugly. So let's look at the pictures of it, seen the video for it. I think it looks okay. I mean, from the introduction video, it looks like it's actually very easy to repair. You see all these panels? They all, like, I would imagine it's easier to take it off and then interchangeable. So it looks like utility wise it's very user friendly. You can change all these panels. They don't look like one piece. All of these can be replaced. And what gets me really excited about this is you can, well, we'll come back to the stocks thing a bit, but what gets me really excited is you can potentially put a truck camper on top of it. So one of the bigger problem with a truck camper is you can let's see, as the videos pictures on truck campers, you can't really get consistent power from a truck camper. And the Tesla Cybertruck, it's a pickup truck, so in theory you can get a nice a new one is probably 40, 50, 60,000, but if you get a used one, you can get it for like almost like 10,000 on Craigslist or even eBay. I like to buy on Facebook marketplace better, but so this, something like this, you can get it for like a 10-20,000 used. And if you put like a Cybertruck here, what it get is the power from the battery pack from the Cybertruck is capable of 110 voltage and 220 voltage. Most people don't really need 220 voltage unless you work on industrial equipments, but for a camper, why not? You can get both. So you can run, like, I guess a heat pump. That'll work too. If you don't need that big a heat pump. But for a truck camper, if you have consistent power, and let's say if you're camping in New York City or San Francisco or one of those major city, you do stealth camping. Well, it's not really stealth because you can see the camper, but you can in theory power the house truck, for 1 to 2 weeks without charging your Cybertruck. The Cybertruck, the largest capacity is 500 miles, and it starts with 250 and then it goes up to 500 miles capacity. And you could buy the biggest battery and then you run the house with it. That will save you a lot of money in rent, if that's where you live. Or it could just be a really nice camping experience that you practically have a moving house. And the coolest thing is, aside from that, you can have like 1 week not charging, living on it, or maybe 2 weeks, depends how much power you're using. You get electric heating too. So one of the challenges with camping in the city, or at least in New York City, you can't really run propane heat. One's not safe. Two, you can't really get propane in New York City. It's not legal to even transport it, unless it's the smaller camping container. The 20-pound propane tank, it's not legal to transport in New York City. I'm sure that goes with most of the major cities. And you can't really run kerosene, it gets expensive. But with solar panel and Tesla's giant battery, in theory, you can have comfortable electric heating for car camping in major cities or basically anywhere. So if I get the Cybertruck, so I think they're not gonna come out until 2024 or 25, but right now they priced at 40,000. So I imagine after you do all the upgrade, I think $7,000 on the self-driving is a little steep, but considering the utility, it's better to get it. And That's my opinion. Like getting the self-driving is kind of required. So if you get that and pre-order it, well, it's only taking $100 to pre-order, but altogether it's probably 50,000 after tax. I don't know if there's gonna be incentive or not by the time they come out. But 50,000 for a truck, that's how much trucks cost, no? Like it costs about 30 to 40 when the new Ford Tundra. So probably 50 actually for new Tundra. And this one can tow I forgot what it say. I think it's like 100. No, it's like 13,000. I think you can tow 13 to 15,000 pounds of tow weight, and that pretty much covers all the trailers I want to tow. So most of the trailer I'm used to is like 7,000 tops, like 8,000 maybe. Anything more than 10,000 is like a commercial tow truck. So. And this, I imagine, it's not gonna be sold as a commercial truck. It's gonna be personal. And the coolest thing is, it actually works as like a small sedan. It has the phone space. It has the back space. You have like storage unit here. Actually, it doesn't even have the cool thing is the length. It's the regular car length because you have the pickup truck 6 feet bed here. But you don't really have engine over here. Like all this room is just, you don't have the traditional engine bay area. This is just like indoor leg space. So you're saving this much space that normally would be like a truck engine. So this is actually will park very well in the city, and it looks nice. So it's not like you're like homeless with if you live in a truck camper because you own a Tesla, and the stigma is not there anymore. What I find really annoying is like people think you're homeless if you live in a car or live in a truck, even though like you're not. You just prefer it that way. So I guess it might be better if you live in a Tesla. People are less picking on you, thinking that you must be poor, blah blah blah. Anyway, yeah. So I find this is a really good deal, and if it's available now, I'd be very tempted to just buy it. But otherwise, I will be saving spare cash just to get, 50,000. So when this become available, and knowing that it's 100% truck camper compatible, and then by then, if I still want to live in the truck camper, just, you go to New York City and you don't have to pay like hotels, and you don't have to pay for rent in New York City is crazy. I heard like people paying $3,000 in New York City. That's nuts. It's just, or you could just buy this and then live in New York City without rent and your electricity. It's a lot cheaper to charge this thing than paying the grid electricity actually, because the supercharger doesn't charge you nearly as much as the electric bills in New York City. And with a truck camper, if you live in the city, bathroom is really not a problem. But you can have water. You can just fill out the water, and waste will go. You could either have a composite toilet or anyway. So you have power taken care of, water taken care of. What else do you need? You have heating and cooling. That's basically everything you need in a studio apartment. So, and you can get, let's see, truck camper. This is on Facebook Marketplace. I think I saw some that's around. They're cheap. Like they're not expensive when they're used. It's about like 10,000-20,000 to get a nice one. Crappy one may go for like $5,000. So yeah, it's probably not the best place to find the truck campers on Facebook. If you find one, but it's easier to find it on Craigslist. But yeah. That's what I would buy the Cybertruck for. Regarding the Tesla stock, to me it's a shame. It was overpriced in my opinion. I mean, I will buy the stock all day if it's under like at least 190 or 200. It's still expensive, but it's at least historically is not as expensive as now. I think I was looking at it earlier this year, around here. It was like 190 something. 200, they're close to 200 but not quite. That's when I was interested in like buy some. And I don't know what happened here. I haven't really been following Tesla. I knew it's gonna go up, but I didn't know it's gonna go up this year that high. So it went out almost like freaking 60% actually from the deep. It went out like 70%, something ridiculous. That's the thing with Tesla. It's like, it's so easy to make money on it, but it's so risky because it's just such a hyped company valuation wise. It doesn't even have a PE ratio. So yeah, it's not making money, so it has no PE ratio. So like that 6% drop to me, it's unfair. I mean, it's a great truck. It's not gonna be in production until 2025. So who cares? Like it could be ugly now, but it may not be ugly later. And if it works, I'd rather have an ugly truck that works and easy to repair because you can just take out the panels and put new ones on by yourself cheaply. So this to me is an unfair draw, but I am still not gonna touch the stock. Normally I will buy this dip, but I'm not gonna touch it because to me Tesla is way overvalued. What my biggest risk with Tesla stock is I love it. I made like I think at least 20,000 from Tesla since I don't know back then when stock was cheap. But just imagine if you leverage and you put all the money in here, or even half of your portfolio in here. What happens if Elon Musk gets sick or hospitalized or got hit by a truck, just pass away? Then I imagine the stock would just behave like Apple when Steve Jobs died. It will probably drop down to like 50 or less, which is kind of scary. It's a very high tail risk if it drops. So even though I think the stock is gonna go up to 400, 600, not really that much a problem because it's gonna keep on growing like crazy. I'm not gonna touch it just for that reason. And maybe at 200 I might consider, but at 330 it's gonna go to 500 for no problem. But it's just like it's risky. They're better investments. So that's what I think about stock. But the Cybertruck though, it's awesome. Like I'm definitely really tempted. If I ever gonna have to buy a new car, I like to drive bigger cars, but if I ever have to buy one, see someone's already thinking about camping with it. This will be it. This will be my next car, cause it's very very tempting to have a truck camper on top of the Tesla. Alright, thanks for watching. That's what I think about it. Yeah, let me know if you end up getting this truck or get access to it and put the truck input on it. I really want to know like how all that will work out. I imagine it's not that difficult to get it functional, like a truck input on top of the Tesla truck. It should work perfectly.